We're still discussing the issue of informal traders. They're saying that the Johannesburg Metropolitan Department is treating them badly, taking their goods with an increasing of unemployment in our streets. We're seeing these people trying to make money. Is it the right way? Does the law say they are allowed to sell in the streets? To discuss this issue further with me, I'm joined by Minnaar from the Johannesburg Metropolitan Department. Mr. Minnaar, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Buti. It's good to be here, I think.
Informal traders.
Yes.
The fight between the informal traders and JMPD. What's the reason behind it?
Yes, no, look, JMPD, we don't want to fight with the informal traders. We never want to do a thing like that because informal trading is permitted. Informal trading is allowed on the streets of Joburg. It must just be done in a way that it is good for the trader and for the community. That's the only criteria. And the way we see it is that where traders are trading in an area that is permitted to do so, they must just trade on a pavement that is wide enough. Because that is one of the biggest challenges. Mm-hmm. Where traders go on a pavement and trade, and then it is too narrow, forcing pedestrians to walk in the street. And that's when we have to confiscate the goods, which is not a pleasant thing to do because we realize the plight of the trader. Many instances, it's people who want to earn a living and who want to put bread on the table. So we don't want to fight with any street trader. It's really not our intention to do so.
Let's look at the laws that regulate these people from selling. You mentioned that they are selling in narrow areas where people can't even walk.
That's right.
Is there a way that you can communicate these to the people who are selling there in the street? Because they feel that nobody is saying anything to them. They just come there and then they took their goods without even explaining that these are some of the reasons why you're not supposed to be in that position. How do you communicate that message to the informal traders?
Street trading has been permitted in Joburg for many years now. And we do have pamphlets. The JMPD does have pamphlets. The city does have pamphlets, which gets distributed at the malls regularly. It also gets distributed in the community on what the requirements are to be able to trade on a street without breaking the bylaws. And it is not complicated. What is required is that the trader must just not trade on a pavement that is too narrow. The trader must not trade there where there is a sign. That sign indicates no trading. Then trading cannot happen there. Trading must not be next to an ATM machine. Trading must not be in front of a church or a place of worship, because that is in terms of the bylaws prohibited. It's not allowed. Trading must also not be in front of an entrance of a shop or in a vehicle entrance. Trading must also not happen in front of a public building, any public building. And trading must not happen directly in front of a park. So that in a nutshell is where traders are not supposed to be. But otherwise, where the pavement is wide enough, where they are not obstructing the view of anyone, where they are basically not causing a problem, that's where traders can trade.
I think we do understand the bylaws and what it means for, law-abiding citizens of this country. But one might say that a lot of traders choose places where they know that a lot of business happening there. Like, let's take Jabulani Mall, for instance. We have a lot of traders that are trading there, knowing that it's closer to the people and that's how they're going to make money. But if the bylaws are saying that this is a public place, you're not supposed to trade there, where exactly are they supposed to be placed?
Yeah, the biggest challenge for trading outside of the Jabulani Mall is the narrow pavements. That's the biggest challenge. So we find traders going there, trading in such a way that pedestrians can't walk on the pavement. So pedestrians are forced to walk in the street, and that's where the problem comes. So officers then end up having to confiscate the goods of traders who then have to pay to get it back out of the pound. The the impounding fee for perishable goods, that is for fruit and vegetables, is 1,000 rand. It's a lot of money for people who have to sell fruits and vegetables on a daily basis to make a living. And then for non-perishable goods, which is goods that can't perish, like clothing and shoes, furniture, those kind of goods are non-perishable goods, and the impounding fee there to get the goods back out of the pound is 1,000, I beg your pardon, 2,000. It's 2,115 rand. So it's double, it's more than double the price than perishable goods.
For somebody who's barely making ends meet, a day someone would say that they're making plus minus $100 on a good day. And these fees come like 1,000 rand and 2,000. These are exorbitant amount of money for somebody who's poor and who's supporting a family of 5 people with $80. Don't you think there should be a reasonable way of tightening the laws around these issues?
Yeah, no, look, the fee of 1,000 rand to get it out of the pound has not always been 1,000 rand. At one stage it was only a few hundred rand. 200 rand or 300 rand. But remember, these fees have come on for a number of years now, for more than 10 years. There has been an impounding fee, and it has had to increase annually in line with a procedure of the city, and that's why it is now at 1,000 rand. It is also at 1,000 rand as a deterrent to get hawkers or street traders to comply with the bylaws, so that we don't have to, so that the JMPD doesn't have to confiscate the goods of street traders, so that street traders can trade in harmony on pavements without JMPD having to go there and confiscate the goods, because it's not the intention for the JMPD to fight with the street traders. It's really not our intention. We've got no desire to do so. But where the trader trades in such a manner that it's an obstruction, or where there's a sign that says no trading, which is then for a reason there. Either it's a public building, or there's an ATM machine, or it is in front of another business, or it's declared non-trading area because of the zoning of the area. So we want to encourage traders just to comply with the bylaws. Where they comply with the bylaws, one of the most important requirements is to trade on a pavement that is wide enough, and then we will not have any problems.
One would say that the bylaws is not working in favor of the people who are trading there. They feel that their rights are basically being humiliated and overlooked because of, looking at the economic status of our country. We have an increase on a yearly basis of people who are unemployed in this country, and them trying to make ends meet by selling in a narrow street does not really affect somebody personally. Do you think that the bylaws need to be overlooked so that it benefits everybody?
Now look, for a community to be able to function effectively and for the economy to grow, there are various areas of that economy which need to function. There's business, formal and informal business, public transport, traffic in general, also schools, learning institutions. So it's a holistic effect. We realize that there are many people who depend on the selling of goods on the street to make a living. But if it's done in a manner that is going to impede the traffic flow, it's going to create a problem. It's going to cause congestion, and we're then going to affect other business. Because if there's congestion, traffic won't be able to flow through. That's the one thing. And then also the accident rate is going to increase, because then people will have to walk in the street instead of on the pavement. So there is a reason why we have to enforce the bylaws of the city, and for us to be able to do things in a manner for everyone to be happy.
What then happens if somebody is unable to pay that 1,000 rand for perishable goods and 2,000 rand for non-perishable goods? What happens to those goods?
If it is non-perishable goods, like clothing and shoes and furniture, then in terms of regulation, the city does auction those goods, and then the proceeds then go to the city. In the case of perishable goods, such as fruit and vegetables, which cannot stay fresh for more than 3 days, those items are then made available to organizations and institutions which can benefit from those fruit and vegetables, such as orphanages and homes. We do donate those fruit and vegetables to them. Pirated CDs is an ongoing battle because we have to do, or the JMPD has to do raids on a regular basis to confiscate the pirated CDs. And then those pirated, or the pirate CDs get stored at a place until such time that they get demolished or destroyed. Over the weekend or last week there was the destruction of or destroying of those CDs, which were pirate CDs, and which we did get very good support from the artist who suffered directly from the sale of pirate CDs, because then their genuine CDs can't get sold.
And what then happens if you find, like if you can look in Jabulani, in most cases these raids happen or where goods get confiscated, but the next morning again you see the same thing. Is it a daily thing that Metropolitan have to go through in terms of removing people from the streets? And is there any success to it? Because you see this happening almost every day, but the same thing, it's like a repetition.
Okay, the reason why the JMPD has to go back on a daily basis to confiscate the goods of traders for breaking the bylaws is so that we can get people to obey the bylaws. And what we have found is that in places where the JMPD has to go back on a regular basis, is that people or traders eventually obey the bylaws. And then we get a situation where people are then are happy, both the people who use the road, pedestrians and traffic, as well as other people in the area, because of no traders being there to cause an obstruction or to contravene the bylaws.
Okay, so thank you very much for your time.
No, it's a pleasure, Buti.